The kick is good. Sirloin clutch, and with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, 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 hey.
The kick is good. Sirloin clutch, and with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, 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 hey.
The kick is good. Sirloin clutch, and with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, 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 hey.
The kick is good. Sirloin clutch, and with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, 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 hey.
The kick is good. Sirloin clutch, and with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap.
What's good? How y'all doing this evening? It's your boy The Don. We back on a Monday evening. I know y'all was missing us. Some of y'all was missing us yesterday. Just a lot of stuff was going on. Matter of fact, I was at the game yesterday enjoying myself. As a fan, not as a content creator. I just wanted to just, have a day to just enjoy myself. And Coach is not with us tonight. He's dealing with something personal. Y'all just keep him in his prayers. Also, I have a few guests on with me tonight to talk about the Falcons and Bucs game from yesterday, and we also go preview the Thanksgiving game against the Aints this Thursday. So, you already know what you need to do if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with other Atlanta sports fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holla at your hometown sports podcast. Exactly. All right. We have a special guest on for the first time. Steven Johnson. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and where he plug his information. What's good, man?
Man, how you doing, brother? Thank you for the vine. I appreciate it, man. It's Steve from Steve's Sports Talk and More. You can catch me on Facebook Live, and I'm also on YouTube. Same title, Steve's Sports Talk and More. We talk sports. We talk heavy Falcons, heavy Hawks, heavy Braves, and a little bit of music mixed in. Gonna talk a little bit about more of those Grammy nominations that I'm really disappointed about this year. So if you get a chance, go to YouTube, subscribe to that channel, and check me out.
All right, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yes.
All right, something wrong with my mouse. My mouse is acting up. I might need to change the battery. All right. MadMike, what's good, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. What's good, Latravis?
How y'all doing, people? Rough day yesterday for us.
Yes, it was, man. It was. But also, you guys, if you haven't been following us, please give us a follow on Twitter at FILA_SP, Instagram FILA Sports Podcast, and on Facebook FILA Sports Podcast. If you just want to check us out on audio only, we're on Apple Podcasts and we on Spotify as well. We also on Google Play and what's the other one? Anchor and all the other platforms. So go check us out there. All thing you gotta do is type in Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast, and our podcast will pull up, and you can hear all our previous episodes that aired. So, all right. So let me go ahead and run down the news from this past week. Georgia Swarm. They just finished up their training camp. Their season's going to start here shortly. Also, the season starts, I think, this Saturday, I believe. Yes, this Saturday. All right. Also, Swarm. They just announced that ATL-CW will broadcast all Swarm home games live. So you guys, you don't have to go up to Duluth. You don't have to make that long drive to Duluth. If you want to just watch the game on the CW channel, you can do that. Lacrosse is a good sport to watch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know how to play. I'm gonna be honest. That's one sport I tried to learn, but it's real difficult for me to learn. I'm telling you like it is. I done pretty much played almost every sport that you could think of, but I tried lacrosse. I tried to have the stick, and now, I was uncoordinated. Yeah. So, but yeah, check them out on CW. Gladiators. The team is currently sitting at 7-7, sitting fourth in the ECHL South Division. That's a minor league hockey team that we have here in Atlanta. But hey, if you miss hockey, if you miss the Thrashers, go check out this. Go check out the Gladiators. They also play in Duluth. The Braves signed Travis D'Arnaud to a 2-year, $16 million contract. I think this is a big signing for the Braves because you already know we need a catcher. I'm not a big fan of Flowers. So, and everybody know that Brian McCann, he already retired. So if y'all have any thoughts or anything I'm talking about, just chime in. So, all right. Francisco Lindor and Marcel Ozuna are both rumored to join the club this offseason. I don't think Ozuna is coming to Atlanta. I think the Cardinals, they'd be dumb to let this man walk. So Cardinals going to end up signing him to a big contract.
Lindor.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Lindor is an interesting move if you think about what message that sends to Dansby Swanson.
Yep.
As a shortstop, because it would have seemed like last year he would solidify that before he got hurt the late season. But that's an interesting thought that they would be thinking about bringing him in.
That's the reason. Like I like Dansby, but he can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy whatsoever.
But here's the thing, though, and I'm pro Dansby. I am, but here's the thing: can't nobody knock what Dansby did in the divisional playoffs. He was the only person that did something. Everybody else was cold.
He's cold blooded when in high pressure situations. Dansby is the guy that you want. So I'm not against bringing him back, but I think that's the issue. The Braves have so many prospects in the minors. So Dansby may be a good guy. He may be good for the team around. Players, fans love him. But like I said, they got guys. I mean, you see what Ozzy Albies and Acuna have done for this franchise. Pache, they have a bunch of guys. I mean, it's so many guys that they have ready to come, and they are not giving any one of those guys. Like, you're gonna have to earn your keep on this team. All right, outside of Ozzy and Acuna, yeah, you're gonna have to earn your keep on this team because they are deep.
Don't forget about Freddie. Freddie too.
Yeah.
Freddie, exactly. Freddie also.
Yep. All right. Atlanta United teams move on from Mike Ambrose, Chris Gosselin, Jose Hernandez, Kevin Kratz, Justin Mirren. I cried when I seen his name on that list that they didn't retain him. Yeah. He went to Michigan, so hey, I just want more Michigan players in the city. Patrick Okawo and Florentine Poga and Burke Shea. Burke Shea was another guy that we're gonna probably miss, but hey, the ATL United 2, that's like a D-level soccer team. They got some good players on there they can call up too as well, and then they got money they can bring in some more of those international players and just put them in the spot, and hey, we can keep rolling. Mm-hmm. So, also speaking of soccer, news broke out yesterday that Arthur Blank had bought a Scottish soccer team. I forgot the name of it though. I'm gonna do more research on it though. So Arthur Blank,
saw it. It slipped my mind. I just slipped my mind. I saw it earlier today.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Arthur Blank, he going international. He ain't playing. He playing with these people.
That dude said, I want international money. An international player.
Why not?
Exactly. All right. The Hawks. Oh, man. I don't even want to talk about this. All right. Hawks, this past Wednesday, they played the Bucs. We played, Coach Bud, former Hawks head coach. And we lost to them 135-127. We played Detroit. We lost against Detroit 128-103. Saturday we played Toronto and we barely lost that. Well, we lost, but we could have won. But 119-116, and we played the Timberwolves tonight. So right now we on a losing streak. However, the highs of this team is DeAndre Hunter. He's been playing good. He had a career high against Detroit, 27 points. And Trae Young, he also had a triple-double against the Raptors on Saturday, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. So that was good. College, go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. And I know it's easy to get discouraged at the beginning of the year, but I was trying to, when they came out 2-0 and half of the fan base wanted them to be a top 4 team in the East. Remember now, 6 of your 7 top players are in their second year and John Collins is his third year. Just need to have patience, man. Let's let DeAndre grow. Let's let these other guys get some time out there on the court. Cam Reddish, I'm not worried about Cam at all.
Exactly.
We're gonna be fine. Yeah. Give him a little time. Don't worry about this year. This is not the year, y'all. The year is next. You have to
find a way. Excuse me, but you have to find a way. Know when and how to score. These guys are not. One thing about basketball, outside of football, you have to know when to shoot. How you're going to get your points. Who's going to be the tone setter? Like
who you need to pass the ball to, and that's
who
all that.
Do you need to pass the ball to in certain situations? They're finding their role. Bembry, Cam, DeAndre Hunter, like he knows his role on his team now. Now we're looking at Bembry because Bembry, he's the defensive guy. Yeah. He's learning how to be a point guard. Because he's going to be the point guard for the backup point guard behind Trey. So right now, Bembry, everybody's focused on Cam. And like Steven said, we need to be focused on Bembry. Bembry is the backup point guard. When he realizes how he's going to contribute to this team, this team is going to be dangerous, man. The team is going to be a major problem, major concern.
Absolutely. We've been fooled by the flashes, though. I mean, we've been fooled.
Yes.
They have flashes, but they look like they could play with anybody.
But what does that sound like? What exactly would that sound like?
Like 5%.
What does that sound like?
5%.
Fooled by the flags.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And going back to the Hawks, like these kids, I'm showing my age when I call them kids. These kids are young, all right. And we have Vince Carter. Everybody's like, well, we got a veteran. We got Vince Carter. Yes, Vince Carter is a veteran, but he only can play so much in the game. We got to sign. We don't have to bring in a Kevin Durant or anything like that, but we need to bring in next season a serviceable veteran who's been there, who's been on championship winning teams. Some people say Klay Thompson. Who knows? Who knows at this point? But I don't think Klay Thompson will be good because, that's just my opinion. But all right, let's talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't know because we have to. First of all, we have to worry about the roles on this team, like who's going to play, who's going to have which role.
Yeah. Like
bringing Klay Thompson in will just only stunt their growth. So let this season play out first. See who's going to be, the sixth man, who's going to be the backup point guard, who's going to be the second, third scorer outside of Collins.
I wasn't gonna say it. I stopped myself, but I wasn't gonna say this. But bringing it, some people talking about Klay Thompson, but you really have a Klay Thompson already on the team, and Kevin Huerter.
He's gonna stunt.
That's just my opinion.
But
I know saying that. It's gonna kind of upset some people. But hey,
it's gonna hurt some feelings.
It's the truth, though.
It's gonna hurt. People thought we was getting KD. I said, KD not coming in, dog. Stop with these dreams. These pipe dreams. We gotta stop. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yep. All right. College. Let's talk some college ball. By the way, we got 2 rivalry week shows coming up this week. Tomorrow we're gonna preview the Georgia State Georgia Southern game that's airing this Saturday night. We're gonna talk about that game tomorrow at 8:00, and then on Wednesday we're gonna preview the Georgia Tech versus Georgia game that's gonna be Saturday afternoon. We're gonna talk about that Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve at 8:00. So, come back and holler at us on those 2 days this week. But Bulldogs, they they barely beat the Aggies 19-13 on Saturday. That was a good game. It's just, offense got to do something. Right? Offense has to do something.
Let's be real. Well, let's be real. A lot of you guys ain't gonna like this when I say this. Stop trying to pretend like Mr. Fromm is Joe Montana. He's not Joe Montana. He's not. He's not that type of quarterback.
I don't think
he's not.
that though. I don't think anybody's ever said that. I think listen, he overachieved early. The freshman quarterback that took a highly talented backfield and a very talented defense into the national championship game. When he came into his sophomore year, he had a lot of new guys around him that he had to teach. Now, the great thing is some of those freshmen on defense are balling out because the defense is pretty much holding up the team right now. And the defense is going to be the only reason we have a chance against LSU. But this unfair, I'm tired of this unfair shooting at Jake Fromm. Like, he didn't tell everybody to say he was the anointed one. He just wanted to come in there and win.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fan, not just the fan.
Yeah.
These people on national TV, like Gary Danielson, anointing him like he's this great number one draft. Like he's not that.
Right.
He has always been a game manager. That's what he is. He's not going to lead you to championships. Exactly. He's not that type of quarter. He's not going to throw for 300-400 yards in the game. He's not that type. He needs a running game to help him.
Y'all done poked the bear. Eric out.
Look, Eric knows this.
Yeah, Eric he in the chat.
He's gonna put up a bunch of stats, but let's be real. Let's be real when it comes to Jake Fromm. He's always had a running game. And the first time this season when you don't have a running game, you see the true Jake Fromm. He was never. That has always been my gripe with Jake Fromm. I've never said Jake Fromm is a terrible quarterback. I said Jake Fromm has never been an elite quarterback. Where these people like Gary Danielson, all these people on CBS, I mean, I understand it. Maybe you got some money, maybe you invested some money in Jake. I understand that. I get that. But let's stop labeling this guy something that he isn't. He's always, look at the Oklahoma game. Go back to the Oklahoma game. Who was the one that really won that game for the Dogs? Over 200 yards rushing in a game with Chubb and Michelle.
Yep.
And we're talking about, like, even go back to the Alabama game. Alabama game, national championship. Again, what the Dogs do in the running game? Destroyed Alabama. You see what I'm saying? Like, this has never been his strong suit. I've never said that Jake Fromm is a terrible quarterback. But let's stop. He's not a complete quarterback. He's not that.
Well, I can agree to that. I mean, he's been fairly successful in his own right, but he has needed to change the
season games. How's that fairly? That's awesome. Compare that to any Georgia team.
But you got
in the 20 years. I understand what y'all talking about running back and say what you want to say. But if you really want to break it down, Buck Belue was one of the greatest Georgia quarterbacks in history, and he was a game manager.
But you got
it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault that he happens to be on a team that has great runners, and he happens to sport one of the great offensive lines of all time at Georgia. Now, we have been unsuccessful against the good teams. Don't see Texas A&M's defense. Now, I know they're not great, but their defense is actually pretty solid. Auburn's defense was no joke. We ran just enough. But, I mean, I hear everybody trying to throw darts at Fromm, but I'm like,
how is that throwing darts? It's the truth. It's the truth. He's a game manager.
You just said a second ago that he was called by the pundits elite. Elite is just a stupid buzzword that everybody gets stuck on, and we want to throw that to anybody who wins. Can we give him credit for not blowing the game? He blew one game this year.
Hell no! Trent Dilfer, we're not going to give him credit for not blowing the game. Like, what are we doing? Quarterbacks have to make plays.
Okay.
Quarterbacks have to make plays.
Hold on now. You just saw a game yesterday, and where bad quarterback play lost you the game. Would you agree?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
You wouldn't agree that bad quarterback play didn't lose the game.
No, I wouldn't agree.
What game? Hold on. What game you talking about?
If you're talking about the Falcons, no, I would not agree with that. If that's what you're talking. insinuating. No, I would not say that.
And I know we're going to get on.
Yeah, we're going to get on that in a minute.
But listen, you got to give him credit. And game managers, the other buzz phrase. Game managers don't lose games. Jake Fromm has won 10 out of 11 games this year. Can we give him credit for not losing the game, as opposed to some quarterbacks that go out there and lose games?
And the same.
If we being honest about it, that's probably one of the reasons why we end up losing the South Carolina game is because of the pick six. So that's kind of like them losing the game.
Yeah. I said 10 out of 11. That was the game he absolutely lost. But again, we're in November. We're in mid-November. How many teams have won 10 out of 11? You can count them on your hands. It's only a few. And we're in the mix of talking about the national championship. Again, he could have easily lost this game against Texas A&M. He could have easily lost the game.
He sure didn't help.
Well, I mean, but let me say this though, Mike. You blaming Fromm saying
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
All right, Hey guys. Look. We gonna continue this conversation. We're gonna continue this conversation on Wednesday. Cause look, we're gonna continue this conversation Wednesday. We're gonna talk more about Georgia on Wednesday when we preview Georgia Tech and Georgia. Cause I'm pretty sure Eric is over there. He's gonna pretty much.
Man, the hell with Eric.
Yeah.
Didn't give him a blood pumping, man.
Yeah, y'all gonna get Eric a heart attack over there, man. I don't want him to fall out. I don't want him to fall out in the chat, man. All right.
We don't give quarterbacks we give quarterbacks all the credit for wins. Like, I'm not doing that. So no.
All right.
Yeah, come on, let's go, man.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. All right. So Georgia beat Texas A&M 19-13. Georgia Tech and played last Thursday night against NC State, and they beat them 28-26. Georgia Southern went up to Arkansas State and lost 38-33, and Kennesaw State beat Gardner-Webb 42-14. All right, we'll talk more about bowl predictions and all that. Kennesaw State and Valdosta State tomorrow. So, all right, on to the main topic of the show. Yesterday, the Buccaneers came in town and shocked us, beat us 35-22. Stats for that game: Matt Ryan 23-46. 270 yards, and he threw one interception. Now, a lot of people say that, Matt Ryan played like trash yesterday or whatever, and I'm like, if you really look at that 46 attempts, that's a lot of passes, in my opinion. I'm going to start with you, Steven. What's your thoughts?
Okay, when you talk again, when you see, you're absolutely correct. When you see over 40 attempted quarterback in the NFL, unless you're in a flat out shootout with the other team, that's never a good stat. That means you didn't have balance. Look at the last two games that we won against New Orleans and Carolina. Our running game was non-existent. But you know what we did? We kept running. Somebody was talking earlier off the air about our defensive guys running around, flying to the ball. Even if you're only getting 2 to 3 yards of run, guys, especially in the first half, that keeps that defense off the field.
It keeps it
when you keep throwing the ball and you keep getting incomplete passes and that time keeps stopping, your defense is coming on the field and we're getting tired.
Yeah,
the last 2 weeks, we were averaging less than 3 yards a carry. Go check it out. Brian Hill last week for Carolina ran 15 for 30. 15 for 30. And we won the game by 26 points. Yep. You have to have balance.
It's the threat. It's the threat. You have to have.
You gotta have balance.
Just running the ball.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steven.
So again, my bad. So if you don't have balance, it's not going to work. So yesterday, we came right out of the bounce, Graham down the field, 57 yards. And then our good old buddy Jake Matthews with his stupid penalty pushes us back. And then we go falling back into the same habits pre-bye. And I think after that, when Tampa goes ahead 7-3, it's almost like we lose our mind and say, ooh, let's pass to catch up. Go to the formula that's been working for you. Go back and start trying to run the ball. Jameis was giving us the ball in the first half.
Exactly.
Daniel almost gave us a third interception. But we got away from the game plan. The winning game plan of the last 2 weeks is almost like, oh, we won those 2 games. Now we good. We can go back to what we're doing. No, go to the game plan that had you winning on the road. We got big-headed. Dan Quinn, for some reason, pushed the wrong buttons yesterday, and we end up reverting back to the team pre-bye.
Yep. Yeah, I just, that's good. That's a good analysis of pretty much most of the game. Like I said, I was at the game yesterday, and oh man, that might be my last Falcons game I might go to in a while. It's just the fans just say stupid stuff. Like it's crazy that some fans talking, oh, we need to get Kaepernick, Matt Ryan trash, and oh, it ain't Dirk Carter's fault. It's Matt Ryan's fault. He's the reason why we ain't scoring no points. I'm like we're not balanced at all. We're not even running the ball. We're not even trying to run the ball, for one. 2, yes, when we try to when we need to throw the ball on third downs, why are we doing these long developing plays? Matt Ryan holding the ball in the pocket over 8 seconds. Good and well, we ain't got the doggone luxury of having an offensive line to block for him. I'm just trying to figure out what.
I think that's the misconception. That's a misconception. Also, this is just my opinion. I don't think our offensive line is that terrible. I think what you have to do as an offensive coordinator, like it goes back to basketball. Everybody has to know their role. You have to know each player's strength. This guy, he typically get off to a slow start. This guy, he's not necessarily a good, a pass protector. Like, you have to know this about you. Jake Matthews is one of those guys. He has to be at an attack. He wants to go forward. He wants to go straight. He doesn't work. He doesn't do well when he's constantly going backwards. Pass protection.
Yeah.
So when you put him in that situation, you're not getting the best out of a Jake Matthews. You paid him $60 million. Use him the best way you should be using him. And that's balanced attack. You have to have that threat of running the ball. Our defenses don't respect you if you're just sitting back and throwing the ball 40 times a game. Long developing plays.
In this case, it was 50 plus times. It was 50 plus times. 50, I think it was like 55 snaps that we threw the ball.
Not using, it's not the offense. Like I said, it's not the offensive line fault. Like, I'm not going to say that these guys are not, they're some world beaters, but you're not using these guys to the best. It's all about maximizing their talent, maximizing their ability. When you don't maximize the talent, you get Jake Matthews going backwards in pass protection, which isn't his strength. We saw his strength.
But you know what though? But you know what? Run. But you know what though? You say using them to their strength, and I've said this too. Jake Matthews, we know he's good at run blocking. Also, Caleb McGarry and Alex Mack and Chris Lindstrom as well. But Chris, we know he's still on IR right now. But all those guys right there love blocking, like love run blocking.
Love it.
And if you go back and look at their draft sheets, they say they excellent at run blocking. That's the reason why that's the reason why we get into the second level. Yes. If you go back and look up Caleb McGarry's tape from when he played at Washington, the man was a beast. Getting up to the second level, washing out linebackers and stuff.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, McGarry was raw.
Yeah, and go back to Alex Mack, when he played in Cleveland. The dude, they had horrible quarterbacks, but when it came to Cleveland run game, it was good. And guess why? Because of Alex Mack and Joe Thomas. Yeah, them guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never get that because they literally had Isaiah Crowell looking
right. Yep.
Man, they had Patrick Hillis, man. Patrick Hillis made the cover of Madden.
I was about to say Peyton Hillis.
I said Patrick Hill. Peyton Hill is the man made the cover Madden, like, and then fell off the face of the earth after that.
Like he definitely did that. He fell completely off the face.
I remember him saying.
And I don't know who the first person was. And I apologize, fellas, but who was talking about the offensive line. Also, keep in mind, we replaced 60% of the offensive line this year. You can't replace as plug-in. You can plug and place receivers. You can plug and place running backs. In some situations, you may be able to plug and place a quarterback if your offensive line is straight. You can't just throw 3 guys in and ask for instant continuity along the line.
On top of new play calling, too. On top of new play calling.
Well, it is. Listen, it's play calling, too. Because you have to realize that it's going to take more than 4 to 6 games for those guys to get together on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not making excuses for the offensive line. There were some horrible plays. Yeah. They made a couple of horrible plays yesterday. McGarry kind of falling into that same standard. Maybe you were talking about they're better run blockers than they are pass blockers. He was going into those same habits. I was at the game as well yesterday, and I just realized that maybe these guys right now pass blocking isn't their forte. It needs to be, but it isn't right now.
Yeah, but the thing with Caleb McGarry yesterday is, and this is why I say Todd Bowles is a good defensive coordinator, because he studies what other teams' personnel, and we knew from going back to Caleb McGarry's draft sheet that he struggled against speed rushers. So what did Tampa Bay do yesterday? They put a linebacker who can also pass rush on him.
Right. Yeah. That's a good move.
Because they, Tampa Bay, they run, I think they run a 34.
But even more than just that, it's not only that. What he did, he knows that Dirk Cutter typically doesn't like to use a tight end to help out his staff.
Exactly.
And he exploited that. He exploited Jake Matthews with that and Caleb McGarry. So that's the issue when we come down to just when it comes down to football and we're looking at the players on the field, we have to analyze the offensive coordinators, the coaches. Are these coaches putting these guys in position to succeed? Like I said, I saw Julio Jones line at tight end. Okay?
Wow.
Why the hell is Julio at tight end? Let's think about that. On that Wildcat, Julio was lined up as a tight end. The Wildcat play, yeah, he was lined up as a tight end, dog. You ran that.
I don't understand why they had him at tight end anyway. And Jaden Graham was looking good early part of the game, and they went away from that.
They never gave the guy a
chance. Exactly. They didn't. They did not give this man a chance at all. I said to myself, like, if they just give him the ball, he can make plays for you. So, Russell Gage, he had 8 receptions, 76 yards. So we pretty much just talked about the O-line play or whatever. But I'm just to the point right now. I'm just to the point right now. Dirk Carter had he's I ain't gonna say set us back, but I thought that it was gonna be more of a balanced type of play calling, because we brought in Mike Mularkey as a tight ends coach, but I thought that was an outlier because we know Mike Mularkey, he does, he helps out with O-line because he's an O-line guy as well. That which pretty much normally your O-line coach is gonna call the run plays, but I guess in this game that Mike Mularkey didn't have any say so what run plays is gonna run. So hey.
Are we guilty of not having an identity, though? I mean, because to your point, with Mularkey coming in here, and you had Devonta, who you can't count on anymore, and Ito Smith, our identity was supposed to be to run the ball. Now, my thing is whether Devonta's in, Ito's in, or whoever is in, I thought that was going to be our thing to go 60-40 on the run. And I feel like we gave up on that in the first 8 games. Coming off the bye, the ability to try to run the ball, even if not successful, does take those guys off the field. It takes that defense off the field. It keeps quarterbacks off the field from the other side. The ability to try. And then every now and then, you might poke 1 or 2 through. See Allison last week. See Brian Hill against the Saints. I don't like that we just give up who we are just to hurry up and come back. It's almost
but you know
like
what? That's a Dirk Cutter's way. That's a Dirk Cutter's way.
He's always been that way.
If you go back to 2013, 2014, even 2012, 2012, we was 1 play away from, making it to the Super Bowl. But even in that year, under Dirk, we did not do well on the ground. He does not like to run the ball at all. But I thought since they was bringing in both Mularkey and Carter, I'm thinking of, okay, Carter was going to be the passing game coordinator and Mike Mularkey was going to be the run game coordinator. I thought it was going to be just like that. But apparently it did not go that way. When they made those coaching changes during the bye, they should have just went on and just made it split. You go call the passing plays and you go call the run plays. That's what they should have did. Because if you go back to 2008 to 2011, you knew we had a run game. Michael Turner and Jaquiz Rogers, all those guys, man, we was running the ball.
Yeah,
that's why I said that's why I said if we hire another head coach, because here's the thing, we hire another head coach, they're gonna bring in an offense coordinator, and Matt Ryan had to go through this whole growing pains all over again, and he shouldn't have to go through this 34 going on 35. And that's just in my humble opinion. Now, right. here's I said this before. I said if we're gonna, I'm gonna stop saying if, when we get a head coach, because it's gonna happen. It's a done deal. When we get another head coach, they should just go ahead and just keep Mike Mularkey on the staff as an offensive coordinator. Because Matt Ryan already had that familiarity with Mike Mularkey, and Mike Mularkey, he's balanced. He balanced play calling.
Even Greg Knapp, I know a lot of people don't like Greg Knapp, but even Greg Knapp,
Greg Knapp can stay too.
You got to keep him around because that West Coast offense is the staple of the NFL. Let's just be honest. A lot of teams run the short, intermediate passing game that can turn into deep plays. So you don't always need a Taylor Gabriel to blow the roof off the defense and all. It's like you can literally have a Julio Jones catch a 15-yard crossing route and he can take it to the house. Like this is the this is the Dirk Cutters of the world. They need to be completely taken away from this NFL because what he is doing is almost like going back to college where you had Steve Spurrier and all Steve Spurrier did was fire wise and throw the ball deep. Like this is what Dirk Cutter is. This no longer pertains to this NFL. You have funny. Let these athletes be athletes, and he takes that away from these athletes.
I think Steve Spurrier offense was called Fun and Gun, I believe. That's what it's called. Fun and Gun.
Fun and Gun.
Yeah, it's trash.
And remember, though, Dirk Cutter wasn't our first choice. Remember, we got blocked from Kubiak at the very beginning, who is working wonders with a less than average quarterback in Kirk Cousins. And I think he made him a pretty decent. He made that offense pretty good.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm trying to figure out how we got blocks from Gary Kubiak, but he's coaching in Minnesota.
Because
we the Falcons, that's why.
Him and
but that makes sense.
yeah, that's true.
That's probably like the only sensible answer I would take because we the Falcons.
Here's the probably saw who was trending, and let's be honest, coming into this year, we see a different picture. But if you're on the outside looking in, you look at Minnesota, you look at Diggs, you look at Thielen, you look at still productive Rudolph, Dalvin Cook coming back from injury. Defense that's
what I'm about to say. That defense. If you put
what team would you pick?
Yeah, if you put that team, our offense is good, but if you put Minnesota's defense up against Atlanta's defense, you're going to choose Minnesota defense. Minnesota's defense has been good for the past 5 years, ever since Zimmer been there. So it just the problem with Minnesota is they played an individual with Rodgers, and they offense, they just didn't really have offense. Now they getting it now,
That makes sense. You said something earlier.
I will say this, fan. Now we've been discussing the same issues about our team for years. Main thing has always been defense. We have yet to have given Ryan a defense he could rely on. Now, I know people might be like, what about 2017? First of all, we played a bunch of mediocre offenses that season, along with a new OC and Sarkisian who had no business being hired at the NFL level. That alone pretty much show where we were for saying defensively. Now you go back
and on top of that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but on top of that, our defense was really ranked. If you look at DVOA, it was ranked 21st. It wasn't even top 10.
It wasn't a top 10 defense. That was not a top 10 defense.
Yeah, see, but everybody else, everybody thought that because the stat line said we was top 10. Mm-hmm. They felt like we were top 10, but like you said, DVOA pretty much said, no, y'all still trash.
We was top 10 in points allowed.
Scoring.
Points allowed, but we gave up a ton of yards. Oh man, we gave up a ton of yards. Mm-hmm. And I believe we was in the bottom of the barrel. We was the bottom of the barrel third down as well.
We definitely did that. Well, we gave up a lot of yards.
Oh, absolutely. Gentlemen, Mora, Smith, Quinn. What do they all have in common?
Oh man, please don't bring this up, man. We know they are defensive minded coaches, but here's the thing.
So here's
I don't think that
flip the script this time. Bring somebody in.
No.
This is what you do. I get what you're saying. You bring somebody in who's an offensive minded coach who can bring in a defensive minded coordinator. But here's the thing though, and I know a lot of people thinking about Mike McCarthy. I'm not on that. No, I'm not on that. Look, here's the thing. We messed up in 2015 when we brought in Dan Quinn, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we had Rex Ryan right there to bring him into Atlanta, and I guess it didn't fall through. It didn't fall through, and we brought in.
He was coming off the feet video. Remember that?
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not being funny. I'm saying, think about it. We didn't have time for foolishness. Rex Ryan is great, but he's kind of a buffoon, and right now. We didn't need a buffoon in 2015.
Is he really a buffoon, or he just talk crap that nobody wants to hear?
Listen what I'm saying. That particular year, when he was coming off all the, Rex Ryan was a brag, and still is, brass talking. I'm not saying he can't coach defense, but
I'm about to say, like you're trying to say he don't coach defense.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh,
let me talk.
Somebody in here that was. I don't know. Somebody who came in with just the reputation of being a coach, not with the reputation, not with a big bravado or something like that. We need somebody who could come in here and change the attitude of this football team.
But here's the thing.
It lasted.
But hold on. No, Mike, chill. Hold on. I got it. So I had this conversation with my co-host, Coach. A few weeks ago. So we need to change. We need the culture change. But here's the thing: everybody swore back in 2015 during the offseason that Quinn changed the culture of Atlanta. Quinn didn't change the culture. Quinn just brought swag to Atlanta. He made these quote unquote slogans for folks to put on T-shirts and buy into. But he did not change the culture. The defense has pretty much it got a little better. He knew how to develop players. Let's call a spade a spade. He knew how to develop most players. But here's the thing. Culture, if you want a culture change and you want some dogs on the defense, you need to bring in Rex Ryan. This man has had a top 5, a top 10 defense everywhere he's been outside of Buffalo those 2 seasons. And we knew Buffalo, when he went into the Buffalo situation, we knew that team was horrible. It was horrible.
Hold on.
Look at that same defense. This is the same defense. This is the exact same defense.
Let's go back to the Dan Quinn thing. Dan Quinn came in and he did not. That's what you're saying?
He did not. If he did, if he changed his culture, if
you're saying to me that defense that was getting run over the year that Matt Ryan still in 2014 threw for, and I just had it pulled up right here. He still threw for 28 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 4,694 yards. But our defense had a reputation as what are you saying? That he didn't change that?
You said
the next
2014.
Year we came in and we played much better defense in 15. 16, we were running around with 6-7 rookies on the team making the Super Bowl. And in 17, yeah, it's empty stats. I'm not gonna sit here and say defense.
Hold on, let him talk. Let him talk. Hold on. Let him talk. Let him talk, Trevor. Let him talk.
Yeah, but only thing I don't like is when we have short memory. Dan Quinn came in here and he did change the code. Slogans or no slogans, brotherhood, whatever you want to call it. He did change that. And for 3 years, really 2 years, the first year I know we won the 5 straight and then plummeted. But for the 2 years after that, he did change things. This city.
All right, hold on. Stop.
2019. Y'all want to hurry up and fast forward to today. All I'm saying is the last 2 years, he doesn't get a bye. The first 3 years, let's not pretend like he didn't change anything. Because if he didn't, he would have been gone his 3rd year.
But you don't fire somebody a year after they went to the Super Bowl, man.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. Yes, he took us to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he did. I'm not taking that away from him. But here's the thing I'm trying to allude to is that the man did not change the culture, because if he did, why is our defense? Why are we not a consistent team? Why are we not a consistent team? If he changed the culture, why are we not above? Why are we not above?
You know why?
We make an impact. We made an impact.
Okay. So we didn't change the culture.
It's on me now. It's on me now.
Travel through your thing, though.
It's on me now. Okay, you say that Quinn changed the culture. You do realize, like, the first year that Quinn was our defense, was our head coach, we still was a bottom of the barrel defense that same season. The very next year, our defense, we don't get wrong, we had some athletes. We had Deion Jones and them boys. They came in, and the defense looked good in the latter part of the season. But here's the issue: it was masqueraded by the fact that Shanahan and that offense, Shanahan running that offense was literally clicking on everything, to the point that of course, we all remember the quote. Ryan got on airways and said we can average 30+ points per game. And me as a Falcons fan, I scoffed at it.
You mean Julio?
Like, did you not see us the previous season? There's no way we could average 30 a game.
Julio said that. We're not going to discredit Matt Ryan.
Hold on. I'm saying this, that we we did average 30 a game. But we also hold the lead. We hold the record, the NFL record of winning 6 football games with our defense allowing 20+ points, 28 points or better. That is not a great record to have. That basically shows that your offense put up astronomical numbers that masqueraded your defense. And all it took, and we played with it. We got shot in the foot the first time against San Diego. We had like 30+ points, and then our defense let them come back and win. That was our first shot in the foot. That was our shot in the foot. The head shot was the Super Bowl. We got 28, and our defense and our coaching staff failed us. So our offense played phenomenal in 16. That masqueraded our defense for being, really abysmal. because we think about the Carolina game. Ryan had 500 yards passing, about 4 or 5 touchdowns. Julio had 300 yards receiving the touchdown. The thing is, we was up by 20 plus points, and if Julio don't get the 75-yarder, Carolina literally walked back in that game and was down by 8.
Yep.
And what made the score a little bigger is that we got the touchdown and the pick 6, what gave us 40 plus points. Like that, the defense really has not been good, honestly, since Quinn been here.
It hasn't.
And the only difference is that Quinn can develop players better than what Mike Smith was.
And that was about it.
Very much so.
And that's about it.
He still had tendency of Smitty because he could be complacent. That what got Smitty out the door. That complacency. You'll get a big lead and you take our foot off the gas. Same with Quinn. It's the same issue. The same exact issue. Now I said Quinn could develop players. He could literally have a 7th-round pick, as we seen, play on the field. Which that Smitty, once you got past the 2nd round, that draft class is out the door.
Yep, you gone.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. This is gonna be real fast, Steve. This is gonna be real fast. Like, we're talking about changing culture. Like, changing culture is establishing your mark with this team. Has Dan Quinn established his mark with this team? His specialty is what? Defensively. When his defense has never masked over 15, is that really setting? Like, I really want to know that. Is that really setting the mark with this team? When your team does not, your side of the ball. We can say this with Shanahan. Shanahan set his mark on this offense. He did that. But we talking about what?
In 2016. He didn't set his mark.
He did it, though.
He did in 2016.
But did he do it? Did he do it? Did he do it?
But
did Dan Quinn do it? Did Dan Quinn do it?
If we're going to start nitpicking, like my man was nitpicking early in the year about the Carolina game and 500 yards, Atlanta's defense peaked after the pick 2. Go look at it. Start right there.
The defense ranked the entire. We're talking about consistency.
Hold on.
We're talking about consistency.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Hold on. You say, let me ask you this. You say
the most consistent team in
win?
the NFL always win the Super Bowl? Answer that question. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to point out the Giants 2 times before you finish your answer.
Hold on. Say that again.
Does the most consistent team during the season always win the Super Bowl?
And the most consistent team plays good defense, right? Defense win championships.
You didn't answer the question. The question was
the Giants were consistent defense. Even when they were playing badly, they weren't losing games because of the defense.
Yeah.
They weren't losing games because of the defense.
During the year, always wins the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's a crazy question to ask because
that's
no one
actually not a crazy question. Because think about
crazy because no team is consistent throughout the entire year. Like the Patriots were 16-0. They were 16-0 and they went to the Super Bowl when they lost in the Super Bowl.
Hold on, make sure you play both sides. I'm trying to make sure. You just nitpick a couple of games the 2016 year, and we're talking about Dan Quinn, so I'm making it all about Dan Quinn.
No, we're talking about 5 years of Dan Quinn not having a team
I
defense over 15.
About 5.
Yeah, we're talking about the overall.
You changed the narrative. I said at the beginning.
His defense has never been consistent. That's his side of the ball. We've always had a
Mike, let him talk. Mike, let him talk, Mike.
Mike, you're not hearing what you're arguing. We probably saying the same thing. I'm the one that brought up that we had 3 different defensive coaches and none of them have done what they're supposed to do as defensive coaches. My point was the argument about at the first beginning of Dan Quinn's tenure here that he changed the culture. Yes, he did. Because 1, we never had a team to ascend to the Super Bowl like that. 1998, great team. We didn't have a shot in that Super Bowl. This team here, we were supposed to win the Super Bowl. And the 2017, all the offensive stuff we had going on, we still were a 4th down play away from being in the NFC Championship the year before. You're not going to tell me from 2015 to 2017, Dan Quinn did not change how this team was doing prior to that. The 2014 and 2013 year that Mike Smith was here, we had gone down. We lost that after that pass in the end zone against San Francisco. We were never the same team. So my point is, give him credit for the first 3 years at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him credit. I'm the
very first person that's gonna tell you Dan Quinn needs to be looking on Realtor.com today for a new house and a new place to stay. I'm not saying you got me, but what I'm saying is we're so busy from the last year wanted to just make his whole 5-year tenure garbage. And you can't do that.
Well, we're not.
I hate when we do that.
No one said that. No one said that. No one said that.
Recall, you erase everything from memory and forget that the man took you to heights we hadn't been in almost 20 years.
All right, but hold on, stop. First off, no one said that. No one called Dan Quinn as trash or anything like that. Like, I'm not discrediting. No one discrediting what Dan Quinn has done for the Falcons. All right. Because when he hold on, man, just hold on. No, I'm not going to give him credit for changing the culture. I'm not, because if he did, this team would probably had a couple of Super Bowl appearances and probably won a Super Bowl. That's my humble opinion. And this defense would have been this defense would have been an above average defense. Now we already know what the offense side of the ball can do. But he was hired to do a job to build a top 10 defense like he had, quote unquote. And he's never done that. In Seattle, he did not build that Seattle defense. Let's call a spade, okay? He did not build that Seattle defense. That defense was built by Pete Carroll, okay?
Right.
He just came in and he just did the play calling on that side of the ball. All right. Now, in the 2014 season, when we fired Mike Smith, all right, we looked at flash instead of substance. What I mean by that is we looked at the hottest thing, the hottest commodity in the coaching free agency, and that was Dan Quinn, Terrell Austin, and then Todd Bowles. Yes, we also did interview Rex Ryan, but that, like I said earlier, it didn't fall through. It didn't fell through. So what did we do? This person just won the Super Bowl and he's about to coach in another Super Bowl. Well, let's hire him because he can get our team to the Super Bowl, which he did. He did. But did we get the job done? Yes, we can sit up here and say Kyle Shanahan should have ran the ball and all that. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm looking at your job was to build this defense. In 2015 to 2019, we have yet to crack. We haven't even cracked 15. Exactly. We haven't even cracked 15. So for me to sit up here and somebody to tell me straight in my face, say he changed the culture, I can't do that, man. I can't do that because he did not change the culture.
Culture is consistency.
Yeah, culture is consistency.
He's talking about consistency. He made his mark with the team, but changing the culture.
Let me use an example of changing the culture. Okay, let's look at Jerry Glanville back in the 90s. All right, he changed the culture of the Falcons. Because before then, am I lying?
Jerry Glanville, have you heard about the Grits Blitz?
Yes.
We're talking about back.
I was at the games at the Grits Blitz.
Yes.
Trust me. I listen.
He changed the culture.
He changed the.
Yes.
Jerry
Glanville changed the culture.
So wait, you scoffing at Glanville changing the culture, but
come
you believe
on, dog.
No.
Come on, dog.
And how many playoff games Jerry Glanville won?
I mean, they did beat the Saints.
It was a pause because it's only one. Listen, we have different definitions, and I don't have a
wins
problem.
Are not.
I don't have a problem with having a different definition of culture change. And you know what? Maybe my words need to change. And I like what you just said a few minutes ago instead of culture. What did you just say?
Swag. He gave us swag. He gave us swag.
No. You said he made his mark. That was what you said.
Yeah.
Whoever it was.
He made his mark. He
definitely didn't do that. He did not do that.
Well, hold on. Time out. What I mean by that is when he made his mark is because guess what? When he's gone, his legacy is still going to be here with Deion Jones, the core players that we drafted. Because guess what? When Mike Smith left, who did we have on defense? Yeah, we had Trufant. And we had Alford. Other than that, what do we have? Paul Rolio? Come on now.
Paul Rolio left over.
Look, I will always listen. I'm willing to bet. I'll give you credit. I'll switch culture to Mark. Does that make it sound better?
If it's gonna be the same synonym, no.
I'm not trying to be funny, but when I have an argument about somebody who's won 3 playoff games, took us to the Super Bowl, and was stupid offensive play away from winning the championship, to somebody who wore black on the sidelines, left Elvis tickets, and only won 1 playoff game during his one head coaching season. I guess
he left his mark on it. His specialty was defense.
And let's keep it 100. When Jared Gladville was here in the 90s, you got to realize Arthur Blank didn't own the Falcons at that time. Rankin Smith was he didn't care about winning.
Actually, Glanville was here. Glanville was here in the 70s.
Yeah, he did. And guess what?
That's back in 77, 78. And to your point, there were like 3 years that he did have them in a certain place, and then he left, and then he came back. So I will say he was a difference maker. But when you say a culture, to me, culture, and that's why I took it away from what I said. You probably caught me on that. I probably shouldn't have said culture. Culture to me, I don't know which one of y'all was saying it. It spans over more than, I would say, 5-10 years. So in other words, New England, Belichick brought a culture to New England. Would we agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So that's fair. So call me out for the culture part.
Are you saying the culture positive in New England or what?
Say what now?
Are you saying the culture is positive in New England or what?
I'm saying the culture is a winning culture. I'm saying as far as wins and losses. I could care less about Spygate and whatever. Let the pundits decide on that. But as far as a winning culture, Bill Belichick has brought that to the Northeast area. I'm not agreeing with. I can't stand them, but at the same time, you can't deny. I mean, how are we gonna deny? Come on now. What are we denying about that? What did the stat they just showed last? They broke the record for most 10-win seasons in a row, and you're saying he didn't have anything to do with that culture? I thought I was agreeing with your definition. Maybe I need to be schooled on what the definition of culture is.
I mean, if you speaking on New England, I'm looking at you playing in an abysmal division for the last 20 years. So I mean, that's not cultural change.
Not really. The last 5 or 6, I'll give you that. Jets were actually pretty. Jets were pretty. Remember, Rex Ryan went to 2 straight championship games with them, and then Brett Favre had the year where he was 9-7 and took them to the playoffs. I'm not saying they were on New England's level, but it wasn't like they were totally trash back then. Not total trash. Man,
okay, we're talking about one team. We're talking about one team that was good. We're talking about a division, dog, for 15 years.
Okay, well, if we gonna go there, then the Saints have been dominating this.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to find out what your definition of culture is. No, let me tell you something. I'm ready to stab, throw out, wipe, and kill anything that I have to do with Saints. But I'm trying to see, y'all kind of fooling me now. Bless your hearts. But I'm trying to figure out what your definition of culture is. That's what when we talk about a difference where you jumped on me hard, you stomped my head. You stomped my head when I said Dan Quinn changed the culture. I even went back and said maybe he made a mark. So y'all gonna have to tell me in this city.
My thing is, if your specialty, like I think we all can agree with this, if your specialty is offense and your defense, okay, that you really have very little doing, developing, is outperforming you, That's not changing a culture. That's not changing the culture. You're a part of something that's great, but you didn't change the culture. And the Falcons, like even before Dan Quinn, we've always had a great offense with Matt Ryan for the past 10 years.
With Matt Ryan.
Or even before that was with Michael Vick. He wasn't a great. It wasn't a great offense, but he made his mark offensively.
Yeah.
Always had a pretty good offense.
Yeah,
we've always had a pretty good offense, a decent offense.
Decent.
Defensively,
never had
look
that.
at these are the numbers. These are the numbers with Dan Quinn here. These are the numbers. DVOA 2014 31st, 15 22nd, 16 22nd, 19 2017 19, 18 26, and 2019 26. Didn't crack not one. This is Jesus. Like we talking about not one top 15. Not the hell with top.
Not top 20. We need to get top 20.
15. We cracked 15. We cracked 21 times. That was 19.
But in spite of that, he's gonna always have credit for taking this team to the Super Bowl.
Of course,
and the next year changing to a dud OC and taking us within one play of getting back to the NFC Championship. Won the game on the road in the playoffs.
He was a part of that, exactly.
So my thing is, again, so I'm gonna stick, since y'all changed my Webster definition. It's not culture. Dan Quinn made his mark with this team. Now, all that being said, we need to be looking for the next coach. But I'm just saying, I just didn't want at that time for us to just throw out what he's done. And very quickly, I know I don't want to act like I'm taking over, but when you were talking about the year with Carolina and we gave up all the yards in the San Diego game, which I was at, the Tampa Bay, you forgot about the Tampa Bay game. That was Jameis's first year, and he came out and threw the ball all over us and won that game as well. We weren't a cohesive unit at that time. We had Dion, we had Grady, and we had Devondre Campbell, who was rookies. After that pick 2 in Kansas City, go get your DVOA and your yards and all your stats, and tell me what the Falcons look like from the Rams game on to the third quarter of the Super Bowl. And I guarantee you will see that there was a change in that particular defense. You know what happened that year? Richard Smith started calling the defense after the Kansas City game. Dan Quinn called the defense himself. I'm not trying to say 6-7 games make a career, but I'm just also saying, let's not just act like the man didn't do anything when he was here. I don't know what's happened the last 2 years, but go back and check. Go back and
we
look.
We know Quinn started calling the defense after that Kansas City game in 2016. Okay. But if you still go back, you don't even have to go. I don't even have to go in DVOA and look at stats and anything. I can just go to NFL.com and just look at the games that we won. Yeah, we won all those games, but if you look at it, we still gave up a lot of points. We still gave up a lot of points. As a good defense,
we won 55 to 50, not 55, 50 was like 49 or 50 to.
We scored 42 points against. We scored 42 points in back-to-back weeks.
Now Saints game, I'll give you credit on that. Saints game, we absolutely gave up a lot of points in halftime.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right in that game. But other than that game, until you got to the third quarter of the Super Bowl, we shut down the Seattle team. The Green Bay game, we're up 35 points. I'm sorry, fellas. You're not going to sit there and play press up 35 points with like 8 minutes left in the game. So from that standpoint, I'm just saying give credit where credit is due. It's easy to dump on somebody when everything's going wrong. I'm just saying.
I just thought about something because you mentioned the Saints game. They put up about 20 plus points that game. Seattle put up.
It was 30. It was 31 to 10. It was 31-10 at halftime.
Okay. Seattle still put up 26.
Everybody came around. Yeah, I was there. That was
Seattle still put up 26.
Exactly.
Against us.
Green Bay, they put up 20 plus
Green Bay
points.
still gave us 30. What? Green Bay still gave us. 20
No, they didn't
points.
score 30. They scored 21.
They could.
No, 24.
It was 24 points. It was 24.
But
that's still
2-point conversion.
But in my opinion, here's the thing. Going back to what we said. Yeah, our offense, we had a historic offense. We scored at will. But if you go back and look at the defense, man, like you can't give up. A good defense is not going to allow that many points. Look at San Francisco right now. Look how they beat Green Bay yesterday.
God, that was a massacre.
That defense, I'm telling you, the defense, they were stingy. They didn't let Aaron Rodgers get anything. They kept giving the ball back to their offense.
In November.
Exactly. And this is where it counts. This is where the rubber meets the road for some teams going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
some of them.
But here's the thing. They've been allowing to get the ball back to Kyle Shanahan's offense all season long.
Right.
So that's why that's what we go back and say. Defense win championship. Defense win games.
Right.
So yes, Dan Quinn. Yes, I give him his credit. Yeah, 2016, you took over play calling. You led us to a Super Bowl. All right, Kyle Shanahan, his historic offense, took us to the Super Bowl, and we lost because if you look at the analytics, we lost because one, our defense kept giving up a lot of points. It bound to happen. You go up against a team who's been there to the Super Bowl. You go up against a team who's been to a Super Bowl multiple times, who know how to win them. Like the writing was on the wall, man. The writing was on the wall.
You also ran a record 90 was it 94 plays?
94 plays on defense. And whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? Defense.
In my opinion, it might be the offense. When we shut down the offense after the fourth quarter, it seemed. Did we not?
So you telling me it's the defense?
Offensively in the fourth quarter. Aside of the Julio throw down to the sideline, were we really pressing in that fourth quarter?
But you got to think. No, I'm not even going to answer that question, man. Here's my thing, man. You telling me the defense job is to stop somebody?
The question he asked is what now? Was we pressing about the game in the fourth quarter?
Were we still pressing offensively in the fourth quarter? Were we still trying to be wide open in the fourth quarter, or were we trying our best to play soft plays to just get us in field goal position?
Bro, we did it. The first play for scrimmage, we passed the ball after New England brought the score within 8.
That's the reason why they lost the game, because he was out. He came out passing the ball, and Jake Matthews got the holding. He was aggressive throughout the entire game. So I think we should have been less aggressive than anything.
I guess we were watching two games. We got different opinions. I'm just going. Yeah, I think I have.
When you bring up the Super Bowl, it's a multitude of things of why we weren't successful.
True.
One of the reasons somebody said dog walked off. One of the reasons why we weren't successful. I mean, like people blame Ryan for that loss, but like I tell people all the time, if you look at certain plays that happened that hurt us, like the sack fumble. If Freeman somewhat just gets in Hightower's way, the play was foolproof, because what Shanahan called the play, of course, the way Belichick was playing Julio, he pretty much had somebody shadowing him along with his corner. So when Julio ran the post pattern, the safety came and played Julio, and Aldridge Robinson beat his man off the line of scrimmage. So Robinson was running free down the field, and Ryan was loading up for the deep shot. But he got hit, the ball came out, and then they got recovered. Okay, the play, now I don't care what nobody say. Don't get me wrong, the catch is phenomenal. But Ryan don't get enough credit for the pass, to be under duress,
and put it,
pocket, to throw the ball
on the run. Only where Julio can catch it.
Throw a
dime. You couldn't ask for a better pass from Ryan. You couldn't. Listen, it's great. I've seen Rodgers like pretty much how everybody's thought that pass that Rodgers had against the Cowboys was phenomenal. That pass exceeded that. That pass exceeded that. You couldn't under duress on the run, and you throw an absolute dime that only Julio. Like literally, if it's an inch higher, it's an incomplete pass. If it's an inch lower, it's a pick. It's one of the two. Yep. Ryan literally threw it where only Julio could catch it. So like that should have solidified the game right there. But of course, we had brain farts. With that being said, like you said, the defense got to come up with something. Now they did give us 2 turnovers. You got a strip fumble, you got a pick 6, but you got to suck it up and find some type of something deep inside you to make the necessary plays. And like it didn't help none. I tell people time. Alpha played great the last half of the season of that season. Losing True Front was a big blow for us because when we got in that Super Bowl, all it took was for Belichick and Brady to find that weakness, and when they did, it was open season. Yep. And I'm talking about Dave Hughes and Abuse, Brian Poole, like he was a rag doll.
And Collins, they picked on Collins too.
Yeah, and you guys have absolutely validated my point about where this all started when you talking about Dan Quinn, because every time I get on, whether it's a sport, something like we're doing here on my own show, we're all still very, very sensitive about what happened that February day in 2017. And we can't believe the downfall that this guy, Dan Quinn, has, which is almost had us arguing about culture versus Mark versus whatever. It's disappointing.
Can you say this?
Disappointing that we all have to go back there, but we still hold this guy absolute, and he should be. He's held responsible because he has not brought this team back to that level, which he promised he'd do. He hasn't brought us back to that height yet. And that's why I think his run as a coach here is over. I think my initial point was just trying to say, yeah, give him credit for getting us to February 2017. But what he's done since then has been so far beyond what we thought.
You know what? Hold on. Stop. You know what? Whoa. Stop. Cause this is gonna get on my nerves. And I'm not trying to attack you. The problem with Falcons fans, we're so used to mediocrity. Oh, we're gonna give him credit for doing this. He ain't did nothing. He ain't did nothing. He ain't did the doggone thing. And let's keep it. Let's keep it. Hold on. Stop. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100.
Ryan, you know folks gonna use that argument for Matt Ryan.
What?
They gonna use that same argument.
We talking about mediocrity?
Yeah.
Matt Ryan ain't mediocre, man. Matt Ryan ain't mediocre. He got the stats to prove it. He has an MVP.
There's nothing mediocre about that.
He has an MVP. He has a league MVP. He has a league MVP. Yeah, he has a league MVP to show for it that he's not mediocre, man. Come on now.
True.
Where's Drew Brees league MVP at? Yeah, he got a Super Bowl. All right, but going back to Dan Quinn, the spotlight is on Dan Quinn because we know Matt Ryan's still gonna be here next year. All right, unless he demands a trade to go to another team that got a defense that can win them the Super Bowl. But other than that, man, they did nothing. All right, yeah, he took us to a Super Bowl. He took us to a Super Bowl that we should have won. But here's the thing. If we're gonna make an argument for this, I can easily make an argument that dang, Mike Smith could have been in the Super Bowl 2012. Let's keep it 100. Jim Moore, He was almost if Mike Vick didn't complain about the cold weather in 2004 when he played the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, we would have been in the Super Bowl.
Good God Almighty. Good God, I'll never forget that conversation.
Ooh, boy.
Like we're so complacent. We're so complacent. We're so complacent. We're so complacent with
us bringing in Mike Smith, Jim Moore, and Quinn about those guys who are defensive coordinators, and we might switch it up. Let me say this: we hire hot commodity guys. I'm gonna give you an example.
Yep.
We got Smitty in from Jacksonville. Smitty was a defensive coordinator of a damn good Jacksonville defense in 2007.
That was led by Jim Moore. That was led by Jack Del Rio
and Marcus Stroud. You had an All-Pro player and Mike Peterson, a young Justin Durant, a rookie and Clint Ingram. You had a decent secondary with Brian Williams on the side, Rasheed Mathis, who's like somewhat of an All-Pro corner on the other side, and a very underrated safety in that era in Donovan Darius. That defense was very good in 2007. Yeah. So that gave Mike Smith the job in Atlanta.
But hold on, Latravis, hold on. But you also got to think about it. Who's the head coach? Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio, he's like, a lot of people would say that he wasn't a good coach, but the man, he know how to coach defense. Defense. All right, moving on.
Both him and Smitty came from that
Baltimore Ravens
coaching tree of that phenomenal Ravens defense in 2000 in the 2000s.
And who was else on the coaching staff? Who's else on the coaching staff? Rex Ryan.
Marvin Lewis, Rex Ryan, Mike Smith, Jack Del Rio, all those guys was on that coaching staff. All on end up being head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tendency of hiring a hot commodity instead of the best coach for the job.
Exactly.
I think that's something we have to. And that's an excellent point, Travis. I think that's exactly what's wrong with the Falcons, and we're so. And my boy, I got to give my boy Rashard. Rashard, listen to this show. He always says this. We want flash
instead of
not substance. We need to hire the best coaches for the job. Enough with the Kyle Shanahans. Enough with the Dan Quinns. Enough with these flashy, quote trending head coaches. I don't want to see a freaking Lincoln Riley. I don't want to see a goddamn what his name is Ohio State. Ohio State coach.
Who are you gonna hire though? Because you not only
Rex Ryan.
Get a coach. Hold on. Not only are you gonna have to get him in here, you got to get somebody here who's gonna ignite this fan base too, y'all. Let's keep it real.
Why?
Hold on. Because why should we have somebody that night the fan base? Like the fan base gonna choose who they want to choose regardless. You look at the fan base that hates Ryan, who's been the most winningest.
That was Seth talking about. They were just saying, let's trade Julio Jones.
Exactly.
We worried about the fans. We worried about the fans now.
If we worry about the fan,
because the fans the one that's gonna be paying the tickets to go into the stadium.
They're gonna pay
regardless. They're gonna pay regardless, man. Yeah, they're gonna pay regardless.
Ain't like the ticket sales paying their salary.
Weekend was regardless. The 60% stadium that was full, that 50% of them were Tampa Bay fans.
He still got their money though. He still got
his money. So
okay, let's say you saying that, but hey, opening night. The very first game of the NFL, when we opened that new stadium, it wasn't even packed out. Now, from my visuals,
it was actually pretty packed.
It was.
All right, guys. Here's the thing.
You're right.
Here's the thing. Going back to what MadMike said, man. We this fan base, we want flash instead of substance. And this goes back, and yeah, we keep sitting up here talking about Dan Quinn, but guess what? It's another person who's going to be out of his job too. It's going to be Thomas Dimitroff. Now I put this chart up on the you guys can't see this, but I put this chart up about trenches, offensive line and defensive line, because we all know you're not if you don't invest in the trenches, you're not winning anything. All right, now. Up here up top, you have with Thomas Dimitroff. TD is Thomas Dimitroff. versus the trenches. All right, you have the draft. You have all these. You have all these years. 2019, 2017. Yeah, we drafted Caleb McGarry, Chris Lidstrom this season, but they need time. 2017, Tat McKinley needs time. Look at 2015. Some people say Vic Beasley is a bust. If you ask the right person, to me, he's not a bust. All right, he just wasn't. They didn't put him in a good position to succeed. That's just in my opinion. All right. 2014, Jake Matthews got extended. All right. Some people can argue that Thomas Dimitroff drafted Jake Matthews. This was the only draft pick that in the trenches that Thomas Dimitroff got right, in my opinion. All right. Rashid Heyman. Not on the team. Peter Kuntz, not in the league anymore. Pierre Jerry, been out the league for 7 years now. Sam Baker, always injured all the time. And yeah, he did he got extended. He got extended, but always injured all the time. And I consider him, he was a borderline bust. But yeah, those are all your draft picks that we drafted.
Borderline, quit lying.
Those are all right, man. All right, so here's the thing. Those are all our draft picks that Thomas Dimitroff had picked, either O-line or D-lineman. All right? And you only got one right? One. First off, you've been a GM for 11 years. This list doesn't even look good. This list ain't even long enough. You're supposed to consistently draft in the trenches every year. Now you go into free agency. You got 2019. We got Carpenter, Brown, and Bailey. All right. Some people say Brown is a bust. Some people say Carpenter is a bust. And here's my thing: if those guys was that good, those teams would never got rid of those players. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You don't get rid of good guards. You just don't. All right, Bailey. We got Bailey. What'd you say?
You talking about the trend? You gonna do both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I'm doing. I did the draft.
Yeah, I can't wait till you get to my favorite free agent.
All right, Brandon Fusco, 2000. I'm just going latest to, and then I'm just going down the list, man.
I know.
All right, Brandon Fusco injured. Jack Crawford and Poe, we got in 2017. Those guys, they've been okay. We only had Poe for one season though.
Yeah, Poe was solid.
Yeah, Poe was solid. Mac. We know what Mac is. He's a Pro Bowler. All right. Derek Shelby, 2016, injured. Brooks Reed, 2015, he was a serviceable D lineman. All right. What'd you say?
It ain't my favorite.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh Lord, Paul Solo, Oh man.
He's coming. I know who you're talking.
Paul Solo, Tyson Jackson. Oh yeah, Awesome Moore, Olsen Umariur, Ray Edwards, all those guys, man. Woo! Look at these guys. Look, and here's the thing. Thomas Dimitroff. Hold on. So listen. All right.
That man even have. He had one sack.
Exactly. All right, but listen.
One sack. It's like 20 games for us.
All right. So hold on, Travis, chill, man. All right. So so if you look at this list, if you look at this chart, he pretty much dug more into free agency than the draft. All right. And you look at how much money we spent on D line and the O line. We spent a lot of money bringing in guys who didn't even fit our system. Versus you drafting a guy who can fit your system, who can learn and ultimately be a good person for this team.
So basically what you're saying is that Dimitroff just be signing folks just for the hell of it. Oh man, you look good, sign with us.
Especially in the trenches. Yep, that's pretty much right.
It's simple as this, man. When it comes to Dimitrov, he doesn't know what he's doing. He trusts his guys. It's all about word of mouth. I heard this guy was pretty good. I'm just gonna go sign him.
And also, hold on. Some people saying in the chat, and I know Pat said if you add other picks, because we did draft some more players later in the later rounds, but you already know those picks were bust. So it would have made this list already look horrible. So just imagine if we were to put every single player who really didn't even make the roster, or if they did make the roster, they never really seen the field.
But also make sure you give credit where credit is due. Now, add Dan Quinn to that list in 2015 on in. Because remember, he had personnel decision. He had the last say.
No, he did not.
No,
where you get that from?
No,
he
does
not. He does not. He has a voice in it, but when it comes down to draft picks, it's always
Dimitrov, because Dimitrov had veto powers.
Dan Quinn has the last word on personnel.
No, he does not. He has the last word on the 53-man roster, not personnel. He does not.
Define the difference.
Oh, I can show you. I can show you where Thomas Dimitrov says this.
Define the difference.
Define the difference
between the
having the last word. 53-man roster. We're talking about who is active. Who is active? He has to say so. Yeah, that's choosing players, drafting players, signing players. Yeah, he can say. I think. I like this guy, but when it comes down to it, it all comes down to Thomas Dimitrov. Thomas Dimitrov is the one who makes the decisions. Arthur Blanket said this, and Arthur Blanket said this.
I'm gonna use hold on, MadMike, because you ain't even got to go into the details. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Do you really think Calvin Ridley was a Dan Quinn guy?
Maybe not.
Do you really think Dan Quinn said, "Oh, I need Calvin Ridley"? No, that's a Thomas Dimitrov pick, man.
I guess so. Vic Beasley was a Dimitrov guy. I'm just flipping the script on you there.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be our Bruce Irvin.
Now you can't play both. So you mean to tell me?
No, you're trying to make it seem as though it's like he has no say so. What? Look, anybody can have one player.
Like you're saying.
But here's the thing, Steven. The GM has more power than the head coach. So yes, the head coach can go. Hold on. Like Arthur Blank did say that the head coach was going to have a say-so in drafting. But however, he wasn't having the final word. Because guess what? Sometimes when Dan Quinn, I'm pretty sure on record, when Dan Quinn wanted to say, hey, I want this person, guess what? Thomas Dimitrov, he can veto that. He can say, well, I don't think this is a good pick. I'm going to choose this.
That's the reason why Scott Pioli is no longer with us. He stated that himself. Differences. So this is not like what now? Differences. He did not agree with a lot of personnel issues. Like you got to watch the shows, man. You got to watch the show. We got to keep up with the information. This came out of his mouth. I understand that, but I'm saying that like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Like we need to listen to what's really going on, not assume. When these guys are stating these facts, like these are coming from their mouth. This is coming from Arthur Blank. This is coming from Dan Quinn. This is coming from Thomas Dimitrov, Scott Pioli. When these guys are saying the exact same thing, and then you look at the roster and you analyze the roster, like look at this roster. Look at the picks. Look at free agency. Where is Dan Quinn's mark on the defense? Where is his mark in free agency? Where is his mark with the draft? Like, look, let's be honest. Look at the draft. You really think, like he said, you really think Calvin Ridley was a Dan Quinn guy?
Honestly, nah. I felt like that. I felt like with the draft, that when we drafted Ridley, that was more so of
Let me say, like, I guess what they kind of say, what the best player available draft pick.
I mean, on top of that, we got to look at Deidre Sanat. Like Dan Quinn as a defensive guy. Deidre Sanat is still sitting on inactive list.
Exactly.
That's not a Dan Quinn. This has the markings and the makings of all Thomas Dimitrov been in complete control, and Dan Quinn, like even like Quadri Olsen. You think Dan Quinn, if Quadri Olsen was truly his guy, why would he be on them? Why would he be on the inactive list so long? All these guys are not playing. Jordan Miller is not playing. Like, all these guys are not playing.
That's
on
very
the defensive side. On the defensive side of the ball. When we saying this is Dan Quinn's guys, no, this is Thomas Dimitrov.
And that should tell you everything. Yeah, that should tell you everything you really need to know.
Everything of who's really in charge of this team. It's not Dan Quinn. He's the figurehead, but when it comes down to it, this is Thomas Dimitrov's show.
I will go on a limb and say that I feel like Dimitrov should have been a package deal in 2014. We should have got rid of him and Smith at the same time. But we kept Dimitrov for whatever our reason. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong. The only thing I can give Dimitrov credit for is his contract signings per se. And even then, after y'all just broke that down, even that looked bad now.
Yeah.
But some people talking about with contracts, you can get an accountant and deal with contracts. Like,
Yeah.
I know somebody down the street that can do that.
Look, I was so baffled by some of what you were saying about the draft. I did go back to the article back in 2015 when Arthur first hired Dan Quinn, and even though it does not say anything about Dan Quinn, and that's January, I'm not sure we probably hadn't hired him then because he was in the Super Bowl January 31st. But Scott
he had already hired. He had already hired.
Yeah, he already had the job.
And before
Yeah.
that, was not a Dan Quinn decision.
Yeah.
That was not a Dan Quinn decision. That was all Thomas Dimitrov.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish. Can I finish first? Okay. In the article, it says that Blank did confirm that Pioli will take charge of the draft and free agency. This was in January 31st of 2015. And if I'm not mistaken, Dan Quinn probably wasn't even hired. They mentioned him in the they said so Dan Quinn wasn't even hired then, but Scott Pioli was in charge of the draft and free agency. So while I might have been wrong about that, to say it was a whole Thomas Dimitrov thing, I knew Thomas Dimitrov was not fully in charge of the draft process back in 2015. I know he wasn't the end all be all in 2015. Atlanta Journal, hold on. So this is Deanna Davis, January 31st, 2015. Don't question me, question the article.
So all you said was exactly what we've been saying all this time. That Thomas Dimitrov.
No, you said Pioli. You said Dimitrov made the decisions for the draft.
Oh, he did.
Pioli. Okay, all right. That's not what you said.
Yeah, well, that's why Pioli's gone.
Yeah.
That's why Pioli's gone. He's not with the team anymore. He's gone.
I'm talking about in 2015. I realize he's gone.
But he's gone. Yeah, but he's gone because he wasn't in charge. If he was in charge, he would still be here.
Yeah, he was in charge of the draft. That's what I'm trying to, and free agency. I have to say in 2015.
But he's no longer here.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. A lot of us, we do not know what goes on. We can sit up here and we can look at coaching changes and what coaching philosophies do. But far as up the next level up, far as GMs and what the GMs do, we don't know much about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't. Now we know what type of person Thomas Dimitroff is. All right, and we know his relationship with Arthur Blank is he pretty much got him in his back pocket. But I feel like Thomas Dimitroff has been holding his team hostage for years now, with ignoring drafting in the trenches, giving out bad contracts to players who don't even deserve them. Like,
I agree with that.
You know, it's just been a nightmare, man. Yeah, we won a division a few times. We've been in the playoffs. I get that, but we haven't been consistent, man. We haven't been consistent. When have we ever won a division consecutively? We have not.
Never.
We have not.
Never won.
Saints hold on.
But he did.
Saints can say that. Yeah.
Biggest winning streak.
Yeah. Saints
on the biggest 5 consecutive years of records, which is to some franchises not anything, but that's the first time we had done that in our franchise between 2008 and 2012. And a Matt Ryan injury from probably being 5 straight years in the playoffs in 2009.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That was his bell cow he brought in. Thomas Dimitroff is tied to Matt Ryan forever. We don't have Matt Ryan if we don't have Thomas Dimitroff.
Yeah, but
we probably have Glenn Dorsey.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. We just gotta stop, you know. And I'm not talking to you, Steven. I'm talking just Falcons fans. We got to stop being complacent and being, you know, thinking that, oh, well, we need this person, or, oh, well, the stats are there to show you that what we need to do to win a Super Bowl.
Build a damn defense.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Build a defense.
Yeah,
you bring in.
I agree with that.
You bring in the guy. Look at GM. I said this. We talked about these guys. Like, we talked about Will McClay out there in Dallas. I brought up Bill Cowher and Tony Dungy.
Louis Riddick.
Huh?
Louis Riddick.
Yeah, Louis Riddick. I also brought up Bill Cowher, Tony Dungy. Those two guys, if they want to get out of the you know, talking pregame stuff, they can come, you know, build a team. So those guys would be. I think Tony Dungy would be good here in Atlanta as a GM. That's just my opinion. Now you talk about head coach. I brought this up too. We talked about Rick Swine, but another dark horse I think has been doing phenomenal for years now. And the Ravens look good. Don Martindale.
Oh my God, yes,
Don Martindale. Yep. I think Don Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, I think he's overdue for a head coaching job. And we bring him in. Him in. I promise you, our defense, you know, he can get us a defense. Mark, man, I'm looking in the chat, y'all. Guys, I ain't trying to ignore y'all tonight, man. We just been having a heated conversation. But Mark, man, where you been after we beat y'all, man? Now you up here talking noise, talking about get rid of Matt Ryan and build behind Julio Jones.
He disappears.
How you build behind a receiver? Get out of here, man.
So you get.
First, I got a rant. I'm gonna let you go through your chat first. I got a rant to go on.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, do your thing.
All right, let's push it to bed real quick. Now, I had a discussion yesterday about, you know, a Falcon fan on Twitter said, would 4-12 be enough to get Chase Young? People, let me explain this situation. If you think that having a rookie gonna come in through the door and get you 10 damn sacks off the muscle, it is not gonna freaking happen if he don't have no running mate. You gonna create the Vic Beasley narrative all over again.
Damn.
But people get mad when I say this, but what I tell people all the time, what running mate has Vic Beasley truly has had?
You know what?
Somebody that can actually help him get pressure. What has Vic has ever been coached in the right position for him to succeed like Anthony Barr has in his career? No. But you thinking draft Chase Young, You gonna sit here and tell me with a straight face you gonna draft a dude that's 6'2", 6'3", 265 freaking pounds, and he gonna come in and be completely elite without no help? Are you freaking crazy?
Here's the thing, man. Hold on.
This idea.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Hold on, Travis.
It's the worst thing. As a matter of fact, as we speaking on Flash, I know exactly why the Falcon fans are the way y'all are, because a lot of y'all lived through that 1991 season and with that too legit to quit, excuse my friends for saying, bullshit. And this is why y'all have the mentality that y'all have. Because you're right here wearing gold chains with Jerry curls and you're looking good and looking fast. You win a one playoff game and all of a sudden, well, that's the way to win the championship. And you ain't won one yet. We put the bird out the Super Bowl and got a raw dog by John Elway.
All right.
We went to the Super Bowl again in 2016 and end up losing that game. What you need is consistency and a damn defense for you to be successful. Quit looking for all this flash.
And stop. And it's coaching too, man. You gotta. It's the coaching, and a lot of people think, because a lot of people looking at Chase Young and say, "Oh, well, look at San Francisco. They tank for Nick Bosa." Okay, true, but guess what? San Francisco, they've been for the past few years building up their defense. And let me put up another point too, and I said this in the chat last night as well. We know the defensive coordinator out there in San Francisco, yeah, he's doing a good job, but guess what? He got a guy, they have a pass rush specialist coach, Chris Kiffin. I don't know if y'all know him, but he's Monty Kiffin's son. The man is good. So if we bring in Rex Ryan or bring in Don Martindale, I will snatch up Chris Kiffin and bring him here to Atlanta to be the DC.
You have to invest. That's where I give the Dallas Cowboys credit for what they do. Like, just stay with me with Dallas Cowboys. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they do everything the right way as far as how to build. Just stay with me.
It's taking
When you look at the
everything.
Dallas, listen, let me say it. When you look at, they have every aspect. When you look at the defense, when you look at their offense, how do you win offense? Running game, offensive line. They invest.
Exactly.
They build the offensive line and they build the defensive line. They invested in DeMarcus Lawrence, and they got some pretty good linebackers. The cornerbacks aren't elite, but they have a defensive line. They have an offensive line. They have a running game. And they have a quarterback who is more, he is above average. He's not a Matt Ryan, but he can win you games. Running game, defense, and a quarterback that does not make a ton of mistakes, but he can make plays. They have every aspect what it takes to win a Super Bowl champ. We do not do that. We don't have a consistent.
I heard what you said.
0-4.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They don't have.
Jason
Yes,
Garrett,
but they don't. It's still coaching.
It's still coaching.
On your team.
It's still coaching. It's coaching.
It's still coaching. That's what I was talking about. I'm not talking about what their record is. They built the team the right way.
They just need the coaching to get them over the hump. They got
to have the right coaching. It does not matter.
They need the coaching.
Gets you in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they need the coaching to get you over the hump, though. So hold on. Stop. You just killed your whole argument. You just killed your whole argument for 20 minutes ago. You just killed your whole argument for 20 minutes ago about Dan Quinn, right? So you just killed your own argument, man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What did I kill?
Because you remember you just talked about Dan Quinn is a good coach for getting us.
You didn't hear the argument. I said the first couple of years he was a. I didn't say the last 2 years. Make sure you quote me right if you got me. I said he deserves to be out here. I did not say he was a good coach the last 2 years. We were talking about the first three. Now, for the lover of Dallas, for them to get the offensive line they had to go through 3 horrible years of drafting some pretty good guys on the line and those first couple of drafts. Probably give Jerry Jones credit for making the moves that he did in the draft to get those guys in place. But again, if we're gonna sit here and start talking about great model after Dallas, 65.
That's how you win championships. Offensive line, defensive line, running game. Average quarterback.
Dallas and listen, I'm not talking about when I was in high school. I'm talking about now. Dallas had sniffed the NFC championship in
because they don't have a good
coaching.
Coach.
It's the coaching. It's the coaching.
I have a good coach.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on, Latravis. Hold on, Latravis.
But I do agree.
Latravis, let him talk. Let him finish talk. Go ahead, Steven.
So you're saying I'm just trying to make sure I'm right. Now you just called me out for double talking, but you're telling in order to build your opinion, Dallas is building a championship team right now.
That's what Philly did before. That's what Philly did before. Doug Peterson went there, right? Didn't Doug Peterson win the Super Bowl with a team that
How do you build
it? And Philly did it in 3 years.
Philly did it in 2. And Philly they drafted.
Even more. You made my point even better. So
Oh,
I'm saying,
come on,
why
man.
this love? Where's this Dallas love coming from? What is
Because
that?
that's the matter how you build a championship team. Offensive line, defensive line,
But
and
what have we built? Are you talking about
Dallas with a
Irvin
passion,
catching
dog.
passes or Troy Aikman throwing passes? Are you talking
I hate
about a
Dallas.
mediocre Dallas team throughout the years? And the
Hold on,
Falcons have been to
Travis.
2 Super Bowls since Dallas has even been to an NFC
they're
championship.
not winning
Come
because
on,
they
man.
don't have
They're
the proper
coaching.
What are you talking?
The
They
proper
have
coach.
the talent.
They got the talent. They got the talent. They didn't got the coaching.
They don't have. They have the receiver, running back, offensive line, defensive line. They have an average cornerback secondary.
And they got the trenches. They have the trenches.
Got a good quarterback.
Yeah.
They
They
have
have
a good
everything.
quarterback.
Yeah.
They have every aspect except for coaching.
Yeah. No.
But you know what though? Hold on. All right. Here we go. Look. I'm taking back control of the show. Here's the thing. I just can't believe that Pat married a Cowboys fan.
Why you stealing my line?
Go ahead, Latravis. Go ahead, Latravis.
Why are you stealing lies?
Go ahead, Latravis.
I know you ain't just steal my line.
Go ahead, Latravis. Go on to say it, man. Go on to do it, man.
I mean, that man really got to get up in the morning time and hear, we got Dak, we got Zeke, Amari Cooper, Brenda Esch, Sean Lee, Troy Aikman on commentary, Tucker Irvin on commentary, Skip Bates as the analyst. With the boys, we're going to win the game, and we're going to the Super Bowl.
All right. So we're gonna segue into another segment of the show. We about to end the show here in a minute, man. We've been going 2 hours long, man. All right. So Thursday night we got the Saints coming to town. We just go around. Steven, what you think? Predictions of the game? Go ahead.
Realistically, I think when they hit that last button, I think all Dorothy has gone. She's clicked her heels. She's back in Kansas. We go back to what we were, man. Listen, I'm gonna be there rooting as hard as I can. New Orleans 34, Falcons 20.
Okay. MadMike.
Man, I don't want to predict this game. I just don't. Like, what's the fucking point?
All right. Latravis.
You're
Latravis?
not near a ledge or anything, are you?
Huh?
So you're not near a ledge or anything, are you?
Go ahead, Latravis.
And if they bring that and turn the picture off, I will be.
Oh yeah, that's how I feel too, man. Go ahead, Latravis. Yeah, go ahead and predict the game, man.
Oh, we gonna get Raw Dog on national television. They're gonna put it on Pornhub in the rape category.
Oh man,
That's
here you go, man. All right, man. Mark, get out of here, man. Can't guard Mike, bro. Did y'all just lose? We just beat y'all.
I didn't want that slow ass tight end.
Why he talking, man? Like
Y'all.
Who's his team?
Tell him to talk to us when y'all score a touchdown against us this year. Which that might happen Thursday, but I'm still gonna hold that.
Exactly.
Who is his team?
The Saints.
The Saints, man.
He came in. He came in a few weeks ago before we played them and talked all that noise. And then when we did the show after the game, he was nowhere to be found. He came on the last 3 minutes. He came on.
I was on that show.
No, he came in the last 3 minutes of the game of the show, man. Talking about, I forgot. I'm saying, bro, you know we was doing the show. Don't try to flex, man. All right.
I would love to be wrong just to come back and get him.
Yeah, I like to be wrong too, but yeah, I don't know which Falcon team is gonna show up, man. I'm just gonna be honest. If the defense go back to playing cover 2 man press, I feel like we have a chance. Now if they going out here playing cover 3, throwing the ball 80% of the time, not establishing the run, we're gonna end up losing, and we're gonna end up losing bad. That's my prediction.
Have they officially ruled out Hooper for the game?
Hooper's gone for a month,
and he only been gone, and he only missed what 2 weeks so far.
That's it. He ain't. You might as well just say he gone for the season, because Lindstrom's supposed to be back by now, but Lindstrom he might not come back to probably Jacksonville. We played Jacksonville or something like that. Last two games of the season or something like that. But
you might just put him on the whole season then. My God.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying Jaden Graham is near Hooper, because he's not. But if you utilize your tight ends, because you can utilize your tight ends against New Orleans. New Orleans linebackers are not that good.
Hooper doesn't make that 53-yard run yesterday.
What? If since we got a Saint fan in the chat, I want him to share this video and share this part.
Yeah, he did that against Chicago. Yeah, he did in Chicago.
If Cam Jordan get excessive with my quarterback, we throwing hands. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think Caleb McGarry and I think all those guys, they gonna bounce back this game. I think the Lions gonna. But here's the thing: you can't Dirk Cutter. You cannot have Matt Ryan holding the ball in his hand forever. You got to get rid of the ball, man.
Man, the Saints are gonna raw dog our ass, like he said. If he come out there with them long developing plays, it's gonna get ugly, and we're gonna see Dan Quinn fired after the damn fourth quarter whistle.
Here's my thing, man.
The game over.
Here's my thing. The Saints win and they eat turkey on our turf, bro. That right there, just get rid of everybody, man. I ain't talking about the players, but just get rid of the whole coaching staff and Thomas and Dimitroff. You cannot have that happen, man. I'm just being honest with you. You cannot have these guys eating turkey in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, man. This is the same ground that two churches. And I ain't talking about the church's restaurant. I'm talking about two churches were built on. They paid out those churches to build that doggone stadium. All right? We cannot allow them to eat turkey dressing on our turf. We can't, man. We can't have that happen, man. They better find some way to win. They better find some way to win.
It's gonna happen.
Well, if it's gonna happen. Hey,
they gonna get a bet. I'm gonna tell the person they're gonna put on TV. They're gonna be Cam Jordan.
Yep, I already know. But you know what though? But you know what though? If it happens, they better call the lift, because they got the lift services outside the stadium at the end of the game. They better go and throw them in the lift, take them to Hartsfield. Dan Quinn. I'm talking about Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitroff, Dirk Cutter. Go on and get them in the lift, send them to Hartsfield, and fly their behinds out of Atlanta, man. Cause I'm not finna sit here for that. Man.
That bad, huh? That bad, huh?
Yes. And that was the fan talking to me. That's not the content creator, by the way. So
I understand. I mean, look, I understand. I mean, of course, like y'all know. I only deal with the Saints when we play them. But I mean, I full-fledged understand where you're coming from. I mean, who wanna hate a heated rivalry? Eating turkey on their field, like,
right. And not on top of that, like they win against us, they clinch the division. and we out of
that's
and then we out of the playoffs too, which we already knew we was out of the playoffs anyway. But you know, we're going to be officially out of the playoffs,
and they did it to us. Yeah. I wanted to happen. Like,
well, to be honest with you, we did it to ourselves. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Can't blame anybody else.
Nope, we did. Absolutely, self-inflicted. Absolutely.
All right.
I can't believe our season went the way it's going. Has been like I had high hopes for this season. Like we went 7-9 with a bunch of injuries. I expected a more healthier team to be, you know, better equipped to be able to put up numbers and, you know, we be in playoff contention, not be bottom of the barrel. Like that is very disheartening.
And we really haven't had any major. I mean, Neil was big, but we hadn't really had any major injuries, have we?
No,
you can't say
no,
Lindstrom hasn't even played a pro game yet, so you really can't even put him in the category, right?
I mean, he played the first game. That's when he broke his foot.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, you can't just blame injuries. Like next man up, that's why you're supposed to have depth on your team. So, but we gonna go ahead and end the show. Everybody in the chat, y'all, appreciate y'all joining us. If you're new to the channel, y'all already know, hit that subscribe button, man. And only 3 likes. Guys, we done went 2 hours for y'all. Y'all better blow up the like button, man. Blow up the like button. It don't take nothing but a quick second to hit the like button. You gotta fill out no survey, do all that. Hit the like button. All right.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, man. This is fun, and I appreciate it. I love going against people that when we don't agree, that makes it better. Mm-hmm. You guys are awesome, man. Thanks a lot. And I'll probably reach out to y'all.
Yeah, it feels like you coach. You related to Coach, because Coach, you know, my co-host, y'all had the same.
Don't.
Y'all got the same way of thinking though.
I don't want to know. I don't know if that's a compliment or you talking about.
It ain't. Look, I'm just gonna be honest. It ain't.
Man, my co-host, he's good. He's a good person, man.
I'm speaking for myself.
My co-host is a good person, man. He's a good person. You know, we disagree. We disagree a lot of time, but that what makes the show kind of entertaining. In
Absolutely.
A way. So.
Absolutely.
I'm saying the ignorant folks that you run across on most social media platforms. Because like, I mean, because trust and believe, I'm here to tell you, but Falcon fans are a different breed, and I'm a fan. I had to come to terms that our fan base is really stupid. I'm sorry to say it.
I'm telling you, I was at the game yesterday, man. Folks just saying it's just dumb stuff. Like somebody right in front of me, you know, when Vita Vea scored the touchdown, and like they talking about how did they let him score a touchdown? I said because when you do a goal line, you put your heavy set in, and when you put heavy set guys in, they don't know how to cover. They just trying to stop the run because they thinking that you're trying to run it in. So when you put Campbell, we already know Campbell's not good at coverage. Campbell's good at stopping the run. Campbell's a good tackler. But when you asking Campbell to cover, especially cover the flats, man, you asking this man to do too much.
Devondre Campbell to think, that's when you.
Yeah, exactly. And I said this at the game yesterday to somebody, and he just thought I just was, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. He's slow. That man, Vita Vea, he's slow. I said, okay, yeah, he's slow, but he can still move, can't he? He can still move, and when you go up against a defense, our defense, who's, like I said, it was a heavy set front. Their mind was on stopping the run. They wasn't worried about covering anybody. But, you know, once again, you know, our fan, that goes to prove that some of the people in our fan base, they don't understand football.
I know.
So.
Agreed.
All right.
Turns with our fan base is just stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, is really astonishing if you think about it.
Yeah, but we about to go ahead on out. MadMike, Latravis, appreciate y'all coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all joining us. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to cover the Georgia State, Georgia Southern rivalry game. And if you guys are alumni of those schools, or if you like Southern, if you like State, hey, join us. If you ain't got nothing to do on Tuesday night, still, hey, join us. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting show tomorrow. I promise you that. But if you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with other Atlanta sports fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holla at your hometown sports podcast. All right. We will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock with our rivalry week show. Y'all have a great evening. See y'all tomorrow.